Hello and welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about how your words are really killing your kids.
So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves.
Hello and welcome back to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about how your words are killing your kids. So I'm going to start this one off with a statistic that I read years ago. I don't know this is the exact statistic. This is how I remembered it. But they say it takes about 20 positive statements to negate one negative statement or to equalize them. So when you think about that, you have to be telling your kids some amazing things all day long about how they're giving their best effort and how they're good kids. And it could be freaking exhausting as a parent to be in a positive mood in a world that is quite negative. But the effects of that positivity are going to weigh on your kids for their entire life. See, what happens is your kids are going to go out into the real world. Like, they're going to get into school. Like, I have a school-age kid right now and another one that's in daycare. And I know that I've been in the daycare, and this place is amazing, by the way. But I have heard professional teachers who are human beings having a bad day and saying some things that I would never say to my children, much less somebody else's child. And that's what he is being subjected to. I walk into my son's elementary school and I hear people, teachers, professionals that deal with 25 kids at a time, plus all the stresses of life. And I hear them say things that I would never say to my children. Here's the thing. The world is going to crap on our kids. The world is going to tell them everything they're not able to do, everything they can't do, everything they shouldn't do. I think it's our job to empower them with the things that they can do. So your words, I encourage you to say very carefully. I was listening to a parent not too long ago, and they were helping their child with the homework. The child was having a hard time with the homework. The kid probably had to be in about the 5th grade. And the mother said, you learn this in the 1st grade. Do we need to send you back to the 1st grade? I mean, really, why don't you know this yet? And I thought to myself, man, that parent, the person that they trust the most, is basically telling them that they're 4 years behind. That in this particular area, you don't excel, and it's just unacceptable. And I thought to myself, man, that kid is probably dying inside right now, because I don't care what kid you are. I'm a kid now. I still want my mother's approval. I'm a kid now. I've met my father once, and I still long for the day that he calls me. Like, I want my father's approval. Do I need it to survive? No, but trust me, I'd probably break down and cry in the fetal position if my father were to actually call me and tell me, for whatever reason, like he's been listening to my podcast, or he's read my book, or he's got 2 amazing grandchildren, and that, hey, I have a lovely family, and it seems like I have a beautiful home, and you know what, I just wanted you to know. I'm getting emotional now thinking about it. I'm proud of you. He hasn't been around my whole life, and the thought of that brings emotion up in me. So imagine the child that looks up to their parents, and there's a lot of criticism. There's not a lot of empowerment, but there's a lot of criticism through words. What's going on internally with this child? That same child I witnessed, and the mom just went over and over and over again, and not one set of empowering words while she was in public trying to help her son with his homework. And I was like, this is not an effective way to get this child to do this. Just berate him about how he's not capable and how he's not doing well. Not only did she do it, not only in the comfort of their own home, right, where maybe he wouldn't be embarrassed, but I actually witnessed him, mom was unaware of this, witnessed him look around and see if anybody else was watching. So as he already felt bad, now he feels the world. It was at a McDonald's. At this McDonald's, that this is happening. And now he's embarrassed because other people are seeing it. He feels bad. He feels powerless, I imagine, because I was feeling his pain in that moment. You know, it's none of my business, right? Every ounce of me wanted to walk up to mom and say, he's so scared to do it wrong right now. It's why he's not responding to anything, because she started getting frustrated. Like, why aren't you saying anything? Why aren't you doing this? This isn't that hard. It's not that hard to you, Mom. You're not in the 5th grade. Maybe you're smarter than a 5th grader. But in that moment, they're teaching it to them now because they don't know. So although it may not be difficult to you, and although you think he should already know it, empower him with the wisdom and the words to say, hey, you may not know it now, and you may not have learned it, but you don't know it yet. And you haven't learned it yet. And I believe in you. And I'm here to help and guide you. Are you ready to be helped and guided? Because those are words of encouragement and empowerment. And telling them that they should have known this 4 years ago, and telling them that, hey, their friends are doing better than them. Nobody wants to be compared to anybody. So use your words wisely. Check yourself at the door. Do yourself a favor. I've actually encouraged a number of people over the years to do this, and it's amazing what they learn about themselves. Next time, if homework is a challenge for you, as I said in this example, or if in my household one of the things that's a challenge is video games, record yourself and how you're speaking to your children. And don't make excuses like, oh, you don't understand. Just record yourself. Listen to yourself back. Even while you're trying to curb your terminology because you know you're recording it, you're going to listen to your tones and you're going to be like, oh, wow, I see why my kids don't respond. You got to be willing to look in the mirror at yourself. You got to be willing to say, how can I do different so that I can empower my kids to be better? Because at the end of the day, you can't control them and their actions. Ooh, listen to this. You can't control them and their actions. They're their own individuals. You can't tell somebody to do their homework 1,000 times. If they don't want to do it, they're not going to do it. That may work when they're 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once they come into the teens, you tell them what to do, they're not going to do it. But what you can do is you can control yourself, your own actions, and how you're responding to either empower them to do it on their own or not. But you can only control your actions. And if you make yourself a better parent, I guarantee 100% you'll end up with better kids. I don't know jack about parenting, but I know a little bit something about life. When we take ownership and we look ourselves in the mirror and we make ourselves better, we make everybody around us better. We'll see you in the next episode.
Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.